This game genuinely blows. Even as a Soul Eater fan, I think Battle Resonance is kind of inarguably slop, but I still kind of like it. The game was developed by Beck, a studio that mostly pushed out licensed games for Bandai before getting cannibalized in a series of corporate mergers and Ship of Theseus into Bandai Namco Forge Digitals. It came out in 2009 for the PS2 and PSP, around the time the anime was coming to an end. That was a full 3 years after the PS3 had launched, though given how long the PS2's lifespan was, I guess that's not that crazy. It's what the Japanese would lovingly refer to as a kusuge. If the idea of a Soul Eater fighting game with weapon Meister pairings that function like an insane tag fighter hybrid sounds appealing, that is absolutely not what you're going to get from this game. Instead, you're treated to slow, clunky mechanics with almost no room for expression and a dead flat learning curve. It's like they tried to simplify what makes fighting games fun, and in the process kind of ruin what makes them appealing. It has Death the Kid in it though, so I still kind of keep coming back to it anyway. Speaking of Death the Kid, I never see anyone talk about it, but I think it's really funny how he has his own, like, self-imposed cowboy aesthetic. I guess it's because he's from Nevada, but he's literally named after Billy the Kid. He makes Liz and Patty wear the cowgirl uniforms, fights with dual pistols, and I mean, who the hell else wears a bolo tie? Anyway, Battle Resonance. Instead of a normal fighting game where you have 4 to 6 attack buttons and motion inputs, Battle Resonance has 2 attack buttons and a special button. Your normal attack can be mashed to do a basic chain combo. If you press down an attack at the same time, you do an incredibly wimpy sweep attack. You have to hit down an attack at exactly the same time, because the game doesn't have crouching for some reason. That also means there's no high or low mix-ups. There's just blocking. Heavy attack does a single basic strike, and forward heavy gives you a slightly different version of it. You can also cancel your basic combo into a heavy attack, but that's the same thing as the forward heavy, so it's not even really like a unique move. Down heavy is a launcher, which sounds cool until you realize the only follow-up you can get is by mashing the heavy attack button and going into a single auto combo follow-up. The special button literally only does one thing. Every character only has a single special move and an air variant of it. Forward special consumes a bar of the soul gauge to do a level 1 super. In total, this amounts to every character having maybe 8 to 10 moves if you include supers. Or if you're being really generous and include every single hit of the auto combo, maybe 15? Even comparing this to Ryu from Street Fighter II, a game which, by modern standards, has relatively small movesets, he has at least 39 distinct moves that I could count. Small movesets aren't inherently bad, but there's no hidden depth to be had here. It just kind of sucks. Pressing back at the same time as either normal or heavy will parry. The window to do so is so massive that anyone with a reaction time faster than Internet Explorer can probably just wait for an attack and parry every single one that comes their way. You can hold circle to charge the soul gauge. Pressing both bumpers does a slow and kind of useless burst that increases your max soul gauge up to 3, where you can finally activate your big level 3 super. For some reason there's no level 2 supers though. Forward and circle is grab. Every grab makes you dash forward for some reason, so the range is absolutely insane on them. I also discovered that grabs cancel into super, and for a brief, fleeting moment, I thought the game finally had something cool. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is wrong with the damage scaling in this game. It actively discourages you from comboing or doing anything remotely interesting. You know what's more fun than playing this game? Go to the YouTube search bar and type in the name of any anime released pre-2015 followed by CMV. You'll be treated to cosplay videos from like 10 or 15 years ago of people running around with 480p digital camcorders, making music videos and skits with their friends.
Hi, kids.
I'm not even trying to be mean or make fun of them, I genuinely love doing this. I feel like fandom culture, especially for anime, has changed so much towards influencers and professional cosplayers that you just don't see people doing silly and sincere stuff like this very often anymore. Cringe culture and the commercialization of hobby spaces genuinely ruined so much of what made conventions and fandom spaces fun. I know they had their own set of issues, and I sound like an old man complaining about kids filming their TikToks or whatever, but it's genuinely strange to see how much has changed in the past 10 to 15 years. As an act of solidarity, here are photos of me when I was like 14 in an absolutely awful homemade cosplay of Kumatora from Mother 3. I'll throw in some Homestuck cosplay pics too, just to show I'm really about that life. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, okay. You know what else sucks about the game? These giant black borders on the screen. The game is 4:3, but it's letterboxed to be not quite widescreen. The game literally does not have a widescreen option, and you can't even render in 4:3 despite the fact that on an emulator, you can clearly see the pixel bleed from the overscan. They're still rendering the space beneath the borders. Here's terrible footage of me trying to play it months ago on my IRL setup where you can see it still has the giant borders on actual hardware. I could not for the life of me figure out what was going on until it finally hit me. The game is actually rendering in a 30:17 aspect ratio because that's how it was on the PSP version, and I guess they just didn't bother adjusting it for the PS2 release. That's probably the biggest testament to how much of a rush job this game was. I still keep coming back to it though. The bar for Soul Eater games is genuinely in hell, and something that's kind of playable is pretty much the best you can get. On top of that, it does have some genuinely good things going for it. It has fantastic visuals. The stages are all colorful and they're lovingly recreated based on how they looked in the anime. Character models are likewise really stylized, and the low poly models look amazing with the hand-painted textures. Most of the music is taken wholesale from the anime, which isn't a problem when it's already as good as it is. Animation work is a little stiff, but they have a lot of personality, and the supers are fun enough to look at. Aside from fighting other people and CPUs, there's also a story mode that functions as an abridged retelling of the anime. It's as bare bones as any fighting game story mode, but it is fully voice acted at least, which is cool. Shout out to AGT Team for making the fan translation of this game, by the way, because I know no one else wanted to do it. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm trying my best to make a full-length video about this game, but it feels like being a mom during the Great Depression trying to feed 12 kids with a half-pound of ground beef. I can only mix in so many breadcrumbs and onions before it's just a plate of slop. I'm drinking Peach Arizona right now. Have you guys ever had Peach Arizona? I've been drinking this stuff since I was like 8, and I think it might be the best thing I've ever had in my life. For a while, during like the early days of the pandemic, I could not find it at any store around me at all, but luckily one of the local ones within walking distance started stocking it again. I don't know if it like paused production or if they were like considering getting rid of it, but they have it again, so go get a can of Peach Arizona. And try the Rizzler Berry one. It's actually kind of good, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty good. Anyways, I don't think anyone has the wherewithal to play this game enough to make an actual tier list for it. There's genuinely no semblance of balance at all. Look at this special Excalibur has. If I time this right, there's literally 0 end lag. I can just keep spinning forever and ever and ever, and the CPU has no idea what to do. Instead, here's my tier list of which Soul Eater characters have smoked weed. I think Liz probably left pot brownies out and Death the Kid ate one and had a panic attack for like 3 hours. Liz is definitely a dealer. I can imagine her and Soul have the craziest smoke sessions even though nobody even knows that they're friends. The smokes a little bit tier is pretty self-explanatory. They aren't potheads or anything, but they'll definitely take a hit if they're chilling with friends. Marie, Tsubaki, and Lord Death all want to seem like good influences, so they gotta be kind of low-key about it, but I know they can't resist some fresh bud. Marie probably hotboxes in the dungeons underneath the school, not gonna lie. Stein quit because it messed with his psychosis too much, and Spirit probably thinks it makes him a better dad, even though he gets drunk every night. And if Mosquito smoked, he'd probably cough so hard he'd have a heart attack. All the doesn't smoke but is fine with it people probably tried it at some point, but it just wasn't their thing. And then we got the fun police. I know Maka beats up Soul if she smells weed on him, and she probably convinced Krona it's gonna like kill all his brain cells or something. Last two tiers are also self-explanatory. As you can tell, the tiers are very detailed, and I honestly think my reasoning for every ranking is watertight, so feel free to try to debate me in the comments. Oh, you know what else I was gonna say about Death the Kid? I always thought it was weird that he used a skateboard because it doesn't really fit into his cowboy aesthetic or like his general vibe, but I realized it's because it's the most symmetrical form of transportation. Regardless of if you slice it vertically or horizontally, it makes perfectly even sections every time. I genuinely love all of the small details like this that go into the characterization of the cast, and it's one of the things that makes Soul Eater such a fun series. Yo, I was about to start editing this video, but wait, hold on, I gotta soundproof my room. Wait, hold on. Okay, wait, hold on, actually, never mind, hold on, wait again. Okay, wait, I think it's working now. Okay. Okay, So I was about to start editing this video, but then I realized we didn't hit the 10-minute mark. So we're gonna um, review another. Sorry about the sounds, by the way. I have Windows 98 sound effects on my desktop, but we have to find more Soul Eater games to talk about so I can hit the 10-minute mark, maybe even the 15-minute mark. Oh, it's got to update. Well, we're gonna review whatever Soul Eater Roblox game I can find. So hold on a second. There better be a Soul Eater Roblox game. I'd be surprised if there wasn't. This update's going really slow though. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Soul Eater. Soul Eater Oh, it's like Battle Resonance. Okay. Can we Soul Eater Obby maybe? Soul Eater Obby. Somewhere. Black Star Obby. Obby. Come on now. Soul Eater Incremental. No, I don't want that. Project Soul? No. Okay. Today we're reviewing Black Star Tower Obby. Everyone's favorite. Beat the Tower or Noob. Everyone, okay. Today we're gonna find out if I'm a noob or if I can beat Black Star Obby. Actually, I'm not gonna give him a shout out yet because I don't know if this is quality. But if this is a good Obby, then I'll give them a shout out. I like this Looney Tunes music. I remember when this played in Soul Eater. Sorry about the loud keyboard sounds. Maybe I'll edit them out in post, but I don't know. I don't know if I feel like it. Okay. Oh, we got a long way to go. Maybe I might just speed this footage up. You might just see really, really fast footage of me zipping around at max speed and maybe falling a few times. Oh! But I will make it to the top of the obby. How the hell am I? Oh! Wait, no. Actually, how am I supposed to do this? No, wait. Okay, come on. There we go. There we go. Oh, that was close. That was close. Oh. This is tough. This is tough. Oh, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. This reminds me of the opening credits song from Paper Mario 64. It's got the trumpets and everything. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on. Whoa! Yo. Okay. 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 Yeah, first try? We might actually first try this. Oh yeah, we're gonna first hold on. Black Star Obby is a bad video game that I would not recommend to anyone personally. I'm gonna say that Black Star Obby is bad and you should not play it. I think that's enough Black Star Obby. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna say is if you know where to find this Thompson plush, please let me know. She just looks so tough here. She's my favorite character in the series, and the world would honestly be a way better place if there was more merchant art of her. Send your best Liz Thompson fan art to giygaskaz@gmail.com, please. I'm at about a quarter of the subscribers I need to get monetized now, and then I can use my big YouTube money to buy Liz merch. If this video gets 10,000 views, I'll buy the plushie and, I don't know, make a setup tour with it or something. I don't know. This channel's genuinely growing way faster than I ever expected. One of my videos about an obscure Japanese indie horror dev somehow has like 21,000 views at the time of writing this. So, I don't know, smash the subscribe button and send it to 10 of your close friends to totally Liz Thompson plush them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. See you later.